style, it drives me crazy.
Hello. Okay, so I've gotten numerous requests to do this video. I should have finished this a long time ago. But basically I started a series on eyeliner and I never got around to finishing it. I started doing just the pencil liner and I was supposed to finish doing liquid and cream or gel liners or whatever, and I just never got around to it. So I figured since I'm in the middle of doing my makeup and also because I'm filming today, I figured why not? I'll just go ahead and do it. So this particular tutorial is just for gel or cream liners. I apply them the same. There's really no different technique that I use them except in the brush. So I use two different brushes. It really just depends on the formulation of it. Usually cream liners are a little bit more thicker, I would say, and more, not cakey, but they're more like a cake liner. For an example, this is the Wet n Wild one. It's a little bit more of a cakeish type consistency. The Clinique one, and this is in True Black. This is the brush on cream liner in True Black. One of my favorite liners ever to use. So I'm gonna do the tutorial using this one. You can also use, this is also a good technique to use for MAC's Fluid Line, which is a gel formulation. So I do it all the same way, just the only difference is the brush I use. So I find it easier to use an angled brush. This is a MAC 266. It's an angled brush like this. You can use a thinner brush like a MAC 209. They also have a much thinner one. It's a MAC 210, I believe. I prefer using either one. For some reason with MAC's Fluid Line, I really like the angled one, but then for this Clinique one, I really like MAC's 209. I don't know why. So what I'm going to do, since I don't have both eyes on, I'm going to do one eye with the angled and one eye with the pointed liner. So first let's do the angled one because I find it to be easier for most people, in my opinion. It really just depends on your technique, but I feel like if you're a newbie, sorry, there's a shadow right here. I feel like if you're a newbie, it might work better for you to use the angled. I just feel like it's easier for you guys. So here's the liner, and we basically just dip it in. I don't like taking up too much product. I hate dipping it in there and then that's why there's all these little scrape marks, because I hate having to scrape it off, but I just end up doing it anyways. So you want to basically dip your product. Oh, just kidding. So you want to dip your product so it's fully coated, pretty much. Excuse that black mark. Okay, so if you like wing liner like I do, you're going to want to do your wing first. It's really up to you. I just feel like it's easier. So let's do it this way first. So I'll do the wing liner first. I have these natural little lines in my crease, so that's why I pull it so that I can get as close as possible. So what I do is I basically go like this, and you want to angle your brush like this, like towards the way you want your wing to go, and you want to just flick it just like that. And normally it's gonna go towards the end of your brow. That's one of the best ways to get the most flattering shape. So you want to go ahead and do your wing, and then I flip the brush this way, and then I bring this down here. Now if you want, we can go ahead and line our regular eye. So let's go ahead and line as if we were lining it regularly. I like to start in the middle and go outward, and then I use the tip to get to the tip on the other edge. So I typically go like this a lot. I'm always going like this. So if I'm going this way, I bring the angled brush that way. But if I'm going to connect it back, I bring it back this way. So in the middle, I start off like this, but on the outside, I bring it back like this, using the tip. That way it's a really sharp, fine point, like you see right there. And then when I do the inner part, I use the tip again, so that it can be really super fine. Just like that. And then I just literally just connect it to where I started. Now since we're doing a winged eyeliner, I typically do it thinner in the beginning and then thicker on the outside so that it connects better. So again, we're going to flip the brush, and where this tip meets, and probably I would say about 3/4 of the way on your eye, you're going to connect a line. And you just drag it with the tip. Just like that. And then you basically fill it in. It's like one of the easier ways that I can think of to do it. And then I just drag it inwards so that it connects with the rest of my eye. And voila! Simple winged out eyeliner. Again, you don't have to do the wing. You saw it earlier where it was just a nice thin crisp line, and then just ignore the wing part. So basically you could just do the same just with the wing. So I'm just going to keep it simple, just like that. Okay, voila. Very, very easy. It's not as difficult as it seems. So basically it's like playing connect the dots. So you do one way, you flick it out, and then you go ahead and line your eyes. I would start in the middle and go like this, and then connect it again, and then you want to go like that. If you want one swoop, you can do it that way too. So you can start in the middle and just go whoop and go like that. I know some girls, even me, sometimes when I'm super lazy, I would just go like this, and it's just really easy for me. But using an angled brush makes this really easy. It makes it easy to do that little swoop. Now, I would say to use a pointed, not a pointed, but you know, like a pencil style pointed type brush like the MAC 209 or 210. I would suggest using these if you're the liquid liner type. You know what I mean? Like if you're good with a, you know, with a fine tip, or if that's what you prefer, or if you want like super, super thin, like thinner than what you're seeing right now, then I would go ahead and use a tip like this. So I'm going to switch to the other eye so I can do this side for you guys. Okay, so we're going to do the other side, the right side, and we're going to do this side using the pointed tip. So again, I suggest using that, we're just going to dip the product. I suggest using a fine tip type brush if you're the type that either likes a thicker line or a thinner line, or you want more control over it, or you have better control with a fine tip, like a liquid liner type tip. It's totally up to you, like I said. So we're gonna go ahead and do this side. I wonder if, let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit more to do this side. So same technique, I'm gonna do this, but what I usually do is I start off in the middle, and I don't do the wing. I actually do the wing last when I do this. So we're gonna line the eyes first. That way it's easier for those of you that just like regular liner. And we're just going to line the eyes, like literally just line your eyes. And I find that it's easier to start from the middle, go out, and then drag the color inwards. So we drag it like that. Just like that. Pretty easy. And then this is when I do the wing part. And I literally just take it and do the same thing like how you flicked it out. But it's just a little harder with this because with the angled brush, it literally kind of does the work for you. This one, you have to literally direct it going the right way you want it. So again, you're going to go this way towards the end of your brow. And we're just going to flick. And do the same thing where you connect. Just like that. So as you can tell, this one gets a little bit thicker depending on, you know, how thick you want it. Again, with the angled brush, it makes it a lot easier to be, you know, more precise in where you want it. So, I don't know. It really just depends. Again, with this particular liner, I just really like using the fine tip one. It just, as you can tell, it made me go 10 times faster. So, I'm going to go ahead and make them even. It's really a preference on how thick or thin you want your line to be. I just feel like you get a more precise application depending on, you know, which liner you choose, or which brush, I'm sorry, you choose. So it's really up to you. Like I said, again, it depends on the kind of hand you have. Like if you have a heavy hand, I would suggest the angled brush. So basically, again, just to wrap things up, if you use an angled brush, this makes it a lot easier to do your wing. And it also gets really in between your lashes so that you can get really close to your lash line. I prefer this if you're a beginner, or when I do makeup on other people, I actually definitely prefer the 266 or something similar to it. I only suggest using a thinner 209 or 208 brush. If you're better with a tip, like, you know, a liquid liner type of girl, then I would definitely go for the one with the tip. If you're even having trouble with pencil liner, then I would definitely suggest the angled brush. So if you're going to use the pencil style, you know, the thin tip, the felt tip style, quote unquote, then you're going to want to probably line your eyes first and then do the flick later. If you want to do the angled one, then you're going to want to do your wing first and then do your liner. That's just what I personally do, even on other people and in addition to myself, just because I feel like that's easier to work with my eyes that way. I don't know. It also depends on the formulation. Like this liner in particular, the Wet n Wild one, I feel applies much easier with an angled brush than with a, you know, a pointy tip one. I don't know. I think it's just because it's thicker and it's a little bit more cakey. Max Fluid Line, same thing. I prefer the angled brush. But for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, the Clinique one, wherever the hell it went, the Clinique one I just really prefer with a fine tip. I'm not really sure why I do, but I mean, again, they look generally the same. For most looks, I prefer the angled brush. It just applies a lot easier for almost any formulation you want to use. So whether it's the Bobbi Brown cream liner, the Clinique brush on cream liner, the Fluid Line gel liner, the Wet n Wild one, even the Maybelline Eye Studio one, I would definitely guarantee that you get perfect application with an angled brush. But that's just me. Again, it depends on your hand, your style, and all that good stuff. Especially if you like wing liner, you're going to really like the angled brush style rather than the fine tip one. It's also going to depend on how heavy or light your hand is, and also the type of liner that you like the type of style, whether you like it with a wing, no wing, or whatever. So yeah, I hope that helped. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below, and the next eyeliner tutorial will be liquid liner. I think that's the last of the series. If there's any ones that I'm missing, let me know, but this is basically a tutorial for gel, cream, or cake liner. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!